Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We're continuing on our journey to visit every single TTC subway station, and today we're ticking off a prominent station on our list, St Clair. This Midtown station is one of the oldest in the system, and it embodies its multimodal hub title very well. Now, which modes exactly are there? Let's go take a look. Being one of the original stations on the young subway line when it first opened in 1954, St Clair enjoys a storied history and has evolved since then. Besides being a subway station, it also used to serve as many as 3 separate streetcar routes, but the number has since dwindled to just 1. Being a multimodal station, St Clair enjoyed a relatively high ridership of more than 35,000 per day pre-COVID, and ranks 20th out of 75 stations in the system. The intersection of St Clair Avenue and Yonge Street is our first stop on the journey. Besides being the location of St Clair Station, our destination of today, there's also some other interesting things to see here. TTC's northernmost streetcar line, the 512 St Clair... Wait. The St Clair streetcar isn't the northernmost? Did we even fact check this? Everyone knows that the college streetcar is actually the northernmost streetcar line. Anyways, the 512 St Clair runs along here and terminates at the subway station, and you'll also be able to catch one right on the street. The 512 is one of only a handful of streetcar lines in Toronto with a fully dedicated right-of-way, and it only received it recently in the 2000s. Walking past the Yonge Street intersection eastbound St Clair, we're finally greeted with the main entrance to the subway station. This is definitely one of the most prominent and luxurious Main Street station entrances on the whole network, and it even has a restaurant attached. You don't see that too often. This entrance, like many other street-level entrances in the system, features a small space for fare machines and a collector's booth before the fare gates, and then connects to the rest of the station facilities. There's also, of course, some hand sanitizer stations for passengers to use. After tapping into the station, we're greeted with a few options. To the right-hand side are some stairs to head down to Concourse Level, and on the left-hand side, we head outside of the building to the streetcar platforms, which are attached to the side of the station building, covered by the roof overhang. Since a streetcar loop needed to be accommodated, the streetcar platforms here are very interesting in terms of design. The platform curves over the bend, first letting passengers off at the deboarding platform, then heads to the end of the long side of the loop to pick up the next batch of passengers. This is a great place to be if you wanted to do a bit of tram fanning. The fast food restaurant also has a separate counter in here to serve customers that might be transferring within the fare paid zone, which are quite a large contingent with the 512 St Clair streetcar line terminating here. Alright, time to head down to the concourse level, which can be accessed through a couple of different doorways both from the station building and the streetcar platforms. The concourse level here is quite complex and, dare I say, even confusing at times, but thankfully there are signs guiding our way through. The main part of the concourse is a long hallway parallel to the subway platforms below, with vertical access on either side, including elevators as this is a fully accessible station. On one end, you'll find a convenience store where you can stock up on snacks and maybe some yarn before you traverse deeper into the labyrinth that is this station. Also connected to this end of the concourse is a direct entrance to 1 St Clair Avenue East and the Scotiabank branch here, although unfortunately it's closed as of right now. The south end of the concourse has perhaps the most important connection. This is where you'll be able to find the large second entrance to St Clair Station, opening onto Pleasant Boulevard. Here you'll find a collector's booth, empty since January of last year, lots of access through Presto fare gates as well as Presto machines, and lots of seating to wait at for pickups. You'll also find numerous bike racks outside of the entrance gates and bike tools in the case of an emergency. Just to the side of the entrance gates is a small bus platform. This single-file, narrow bus platform is nothing special, but it does provide passengers with 2 different bus routes to choose from, complementing the subway and streetcar services here and making this station one of the most multimodal in the system. And the reason why it's so dark here is the fact that it's actually located right under a mid-rise apartment building. Talk about TOD, eh? We also spot an electric bus, which is quite cool. Now that we're done with the surface levels of the station, let's finally descend into the depths that are the subway platforms. St Clair has a pretty typical mid-century subway station look, with side platforms and a mellow earthy color scheme, similar to a lot of other stations on the original Yonge subway line. It's definitely showing its age, but the bright lighting and spacious platforms mean that the experience is still quite pleasant. St Clair is also notably one of the few subway stations with a noticeable platform curve. All the usual bits and pieces of a Toronto subway platform are here, including some TV screens, benches, and clear garbage bags, and of course designated waiting areas for the best and safest place to wait for your Toronto rockets. Speaking of the rocket, here they come. Our final destination today is accessed through the platform level as well. The brightly colored stairwells at either ends of the platform's northern end is connected to the very last entrance of the station, which will lead you into the St Clair Centre at 2 St Clair East, through an automated entrance. The mall has quite a few destinations, including a Loblaws, so you can pick up some groceries on your way home from work, assuming you're still going into work in this age and day. So this concludes our video on St Clair Station, one of the original stations on the TTC subway network. The area around the station is rapidly developing, and we're really looking forward to seeing it develop more throughout the years. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.